My first make is going to be prompt number 9 and prompt number 12, which is a belly band and a butterfly. And what I've done is made a faux envelope into a belly band, and I've just tucked something simple behind it. And what you do is move the butterfly, and then you've got an envelope with some small little goodies, another butterfly. Probably add more stuff in here, but for now I've just got these little items from Lydia's kit. So we'll make one together, but we'll do this one slightly different. So this one is obviously somewhere for you to tuck in little special things. And that holds it there like that. So I wanted to work, where did I want to work? I think it was on one of these French pages. And I've got another print from Lydia's kit here. And you can use any type of paper. So just to give you an example of the size, this is 17.5 centimetres, so it's about 7 inches by 12.5 centimetres, which is just about 5 inches. And I'm going to put the envelope this way, so I think it'll have to go on, where are we? I did find a page earlier and I seem to have lost it now. There we go. It can go on there. All will be revealed shortly. Okay, so I need to decorate the back because I haven't printed on the back. So I'm going to just do a little bit of loose stenciling using one of these makeup brushes and Distress Oxide. And this is antique linen. I'm just going to take the edge off this white because it's a little bit too white, and you will see inside when I make the envelope. Of course, you don't have to worry if you've got double-sided printed paper, but you want the inside to be fairly light. I'll just pop that on that side. Just a light dusting there. And then what I think I'll do is do a little bit more around the edges. So that is adequately de-whited. And I'm going to make a very simple envelope without any tools. And what you want, you can vary the size. So I'm not going to fold, I'm just going to sort of have a look at how I want this to look. So, oh yeah, the way this is going to work is, because you've got text on there, you want to make sure that at least one part of this is upside down. So if I folded this way, then both parts are upside down. But if I fold it the other way, then at least this is the right way up. I'm generally not bothered about things being upside down. My other one is upside down. That's upside down, but you can hardly tell, so it doesn't matter. But I just thought I'd mention that. It's easier to use a pattern that's sort of multi-directional. And you can decide whether you want a small envelope and a large top, or a larger envelope and a smaller top. Now I want this to be a belly band on that page. So, and I want to be able to tuck something underneath it. So I don't want this actually to be too, from there to there, to be too wide. So I'm just going to just fold it loosely. And then I'm going to fold the top bit, but I'm not going to go right to the edge there. I just want to leave a little bit of a space. And then you want to burnish them down nice and flat. Like so. And then you can make the top shape. Now I do want to just trim that off a little bit because it is sticking out a little bit there, which is a bit annoying. So we'll just tidy that up like that. And you can actually go ahead and round the corner up here as well, because it'll make things easier to go in and out. There you go. So you can decide how you want to shape your envelope. So what I tend to do is I fold it this way so that I get an equal shape, and I'm kind of going to go like that. There. So you can see that the print now is the right orientation. Okay, next bit then is to do something contrasting with either that side or this side. So I could put that on the bottom there, so it looks like that. So if I just fold that over, so that's quite pretty, like that. Or I can pop it over the top there, so it comes over like that, and I think I prefer that one. So I think I will go there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue around the edges. I'm not going to go right to the edge because I want to do a bit of stitching. But if you're not going to stitch, then you'll need to go right to the edge. And you want this the right orientation, so put your envelope, and I think the easiest thing to do is to go from the top, and you don't really want to go right to the very edge at the top. You want to leave a small gap so that it doesn't interfere with the folding. You can always distress that bit there so you can't see it, or you could put some really nice lace or something over it. Okay, I'm going to cut these out, so let's cut that. Okay, so it looks something like that. I'm going to ink all the edges now. Okay, so if you want to make this then into an envelope that will hold some mementos or something in there, you could glue or stitch here and here, and that would be job done then with the envelope. But I'm actually going to keep mine open. So what I'm going to do is create my belly band there, but leave it open so that you can open it up, and then you can do some journaling inside. So it's a slightly different twist on the previous one, which was a sealed envelope. Okay. And I do want to stitch, so I am going to stitch around and make it look like a closed envelope, but actually it will be open. So here's my faux envelope, And another idea for this top piece, because mine's actually quite stiff because I've got 2 layers of quite thick paper on there, which isn't the best idea. But you could use washi tape. You could use strips of washi tape, and that would make a really nice topper for that envelope as well. And before I forget, there's nothing stopping you if you can make the envelope fit this way, is have your belly band landscape orientation instead of what I'm doing, which is portrait orientation. So I'm going to pop just a few bits of fabric and lace here, and I'm going to glue them together with a butterfly and a bit of bling, which I spent the last half an hour finding in my craft room, and I got extremely annoyed that I could not find this massive roll of bling, which I knew I'd bought. Drove me insane. But I found it in the end. I did not give in. Okay, so I need to glue my butterfly onto the fabric, like so. And I think it might be a good idea to pop some paper on there, I believe. So I'll just pop some of this on you, I think. Just to give it some stability. Like that. And then I'm going to add the bling and the glue. Try to get this on there before it dries. You could, of course, stitch the butterfly on, which I did on the last one. And then what you want to do is you want to glue it so that you're able to open this. You just want to glue it sort of down. I put this in the wrong place, of course. But you just need to glue it there, really. Just secure it enough so that it will hold the top of the envelope. So I'm just going to pop it like there for a second just to make sure. So I'm going to put my glue on the bottom of the envelope instead of the butterfly, and my butterfly is sort of coming off the envelope a little bit. So I'm going to glue there, and I think double-sided sticky tape would work well in this scenario, maybe better than glue. Just want to make sure you can still move your envelope top. Okay, so, and of course these can just go in a pocket, you know, they don't have to be a belly band. But the prompt is belly band, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, and I am going to attach top and bottom. As quickly as I possibly can. Like that. And then I can open it up. I tell you what I've done. Because the butterfly is going off the edge, it is making a little bit awkward there. It does still move and it tucks in there, but that might be something you want to consider, is actually not having it going off the side too much. So I'm just thinking I could move it. Let's take it off. We can always learn from our mistakes. Okay, so what I need to do is put it more there, which does make it a little bit more awkward here, but it will still work. So if I glue that there, then I've still got the problem, to be honest, but I will reattach the glue. pop that in there. Once your journal is flat and it will stick it down. So you can open it there and then carefully open it there, just very carefully. But that's an idea for you. And then of course you can also write then on these parts. Of course you could do a different closure. You could do like a little policy closure where you have 2 buttons and then you use string and stuff. But I wanted to use the butterfly because that's what the prompt was. And then we want to put something behind the belly band. So that's where I'll go on to one of the other prompts, which is folded paper. For the folded paper and journaling card prompts, I'm keeping it very simple. And what I've made is a zine. Very, very basic zine. And as part of the zine, I've got a little belly band. So I'm carrying on with prompt number 9. Here's my little journaling card. Can't get any simpler than that, just a piece of scrap. You can decorate it as you like. And then the inside of my zine is very plain, so I can use it for journaling, or I can decorate it with collage. And then I've got little tags and journaling cards then, again just scraps which I need to decorate, but for now they just serve a purpose. And nothing on the back as yet, but you can decorate it as you like. So I'll just show you how I quickly made this, and I was going to add it to a pocket here. And I'm going to do it very simply. So here's an A4 sheet of paper. You can use whatever paper size you like. I'm keeping mine small. And I am folding it once here. Let's just pop this out the way. So I folded it in half. It's quite useful to use a bone folder. Fold it in half again. Open it out and have your paper landscape, and then fold it. So you're folding it in half. So fold it in half. So you've got a landscape there. Fold it in half, turn it around, and you're going to cut on that line there. So you can see the line just there. And I'm just going to go halfway up. To that point there. Turn your page back landscape, fold it, and then push together. And what you'll find is the zine will naturally fold over to where it wants to go. And then what you can do is you can either fold it that way or that way. It doesn't really matter. Mine seems to go better that way. Now you'll always get a little bit of a rough edge. You can cut those if you like. And what you'll notice is that one top part, all the edges are open, and on the bottom you will have 2 closed edges and 2 open edges. And depending on where you're putting this zine, you can decide to keep the openings and either have little tags and journaling cards coming out the top or coming out the side. It's really up to you how you do it. So in my example, I had them all coming out the top because of the orientation of the zine fitting into the belly band. On this page, I could probably have some journaling cards coming out there as well, but I find it easier to come out the top. So what I'm going to do is, now you can stitch. If you want to stitch, what you want to do, probably easier if I actually show you. So on my example, you can see that I've got stitching all the way around. I only went down one side because it's a bit overkill because the zine is so small, so it didn't see the point in doing stitching on the other side. But you can see it's all the way around. So to achieve that, before you glue anything together, you need to stitch along the top and stitch along the bottom. And that way then it will look like, when you put it together, it will look like it's all stitched. That is the easiest way I can explain it. But for demonstration purposes, I am not going to stitch this version. So let's make sure we've got all holes in the top, which we have. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue where I don't want there to be any gaps. So we've got the bottom here. Bear in mind as well, if you do stitch your zine, it does make your little pockets a bit smaller. So on this one I need to glue the side. And it'll be the bottom again. And another side. When I'm stitching a zine, I don't bother gluing at all. I just stitch it together. Just find it easier doing it that way. And then you can attach your journaling card anywhere you like. So you could attach it with a nice pretty paper clip or something. I'm just going to carry on and do the same as I've done here and use this little belly band I've got, which I just need to trim off. And let's have a look at what I can put on there. Now I need something as flat as possible ideally, because I don't want to bulk things out too much. Maybe I'll just grab something like that for now and then just see what papers I'm going to choose, and then I can worry about the bling. And I wanted to use, actually, I was fancying using this bit of paper here. This is one of my favourite pages. And I think it'll go where I'm going to place it, because I've got some blue in the pockets. I thought that might go quite nicely. So the first thing I need to do is cut a little bit and take these edges off. And so I can see I need to go down to about there. So let us take that off. Now the belly band is going to affect the size that I'm going to be able to make this journaling card. So it's going to be quite small. But I'm sure it'll be big enough to actually do a little bit of journaling on. going to be a bit too tall, perhaps. Take it down a notch. Okay, that looks about all right. Excuse me, let's pop this on. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Now you can round the corners, which I'm going to do. I think it makes it look a little bit nicer. I think zines create such lovely little notebooks. They're so versatile as well. I love zines. Such great ideas. So that will go there like that. And I think I might actually do the same on the back, but use more of the plain side. So I'm just going to cut this into shape and do exactly the same on the back. I'm going to glue this on, but you could attach it and leave it as a journaling card, of course. And then all I did for this one then was use my scraps and cut them all about the same height. So I'll probably do that now. So I've got that scrap there. So let's just grab one of these. No, two of them then. Let's pop that one back in. Perfect size. Well, almost perfect. Just slightly smaller, but I can live with that. So these are all inked, and you can stitch them, decorate them, add little tassels and things on them, eyelets maybe. Could really go to town with them. And for this, I think I might add a little bit of fabric. Go into my magic bag. That's begging to be used, I think. Won't quite go though. Let's try and get something that's actually, think that will probably go a bit better. Now I'm going to staple it. So we're going to have that there. You could add some fabric in the back, so that'll look really pretty. No, I'm not going to use that. I am just going to use just a little bit of bling. And I'm using this Tombow Mono liquid glue because I find it does work really well on heavy paper, which this music paper is. It's quite thick. And I'm really hoping now, because I haven't checked, but I'm hoping this is going to fit in there. With a bit of luck, yeah, I think there's enough room there. We'll be okay. So I'm keeping my embellishing to a minimum because I don't want this to be too bulky in the journal. But I'm sure I could add, you know, a couple of bits of fabric and things in there without worrying too much about it. So yeah, you can go to town with this. But I'm keeping it simple, like that. I think maybe something in the background would look nice as well. These could come up a little bit higher. And I'm sure with a little bit of fabric on each one of those, that'll look very pretty as well. And I can pop the other one in here somewhere. Where is my envelope? There it is. So that's just another idea for you. And oh yeah, I did actually add a little butterfly to this as well. There. Just a little touch there. So, a couple of simple ideas for folded paper and journaling card. And just a quick recap of what we've done today. So I've created a belly band here, and the butterfly, and the folded paper and journal card, another butterfly, and some little journaling cards inside the zine. So it's hard to put that in there with one hand. And if I flip over here, I created this one off camera. Oh, and just as a reminder as well, so this envelope opens out to a journaling spot. And my other envelope, which I have now just lost, here we go. This one opens out as an envelope, and you can store your little goodies in there. It's a tight fit. And I've got a journaling card there. And then another folded page into a zine with a journaling card that's now stuck to the belly band. Come on. Here we go. Phew. Didn't think that was going to shift then. So there's my journaling card. Just put something simple on the back. Can do some journaling there. And I've got my little journaling tags in each of the pockets. So really simple interpretation of the prompts. So that's 4 prompts: belly band, folded paper, journaling card and butterfly. So that takes us up to day 12. Please do go and check out all the creators who have worked on these prompts in the last few days. You'll find a link to either their Instagram or their YouTube channel, or both, in my description box. And please do support Lydia as well, because she has done an absolute amazing job organising this collaboration, keeping everybody motivated during a very busy month. And yeah, she's really supportive. So yes, please do check out all the work that she's doing as well on YouTube and Instagram. And I will see you in a few days with another video. So bye-bye for now.